What you are about to see is nothing more than a dramatization. The real events are far too gruesome for me to show you in my own good conscience.
This be going. There she is. Come on, lass.
I hate it here. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. You know what? That's it. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm gonna go live on Venus, where it's toxic, like Naoya's existence. Yeah, it's fair to say that I didn't really enjoy chapter 193. I kind of knew that going into it, and that's kind of partially because I am a loyal participant and member of the Church of Maki Zenin. I have a little bit of bias towards the other side of the table. I have also made it my goal on this channel, part of my identity as somebody who makes content on YouTube, I've made it a point to hate Naoya. Now, I haven't forced that, I really just hate Naoya. He's meant to be hated, if you ask me. You're not supposed to like Naoya in any way, shape, or form. You are supposed to think he is a terrible person and dislike him. That is partially his purpose in the series. He just is. He sucks. Seriously, he sucks so hard, he has a suction port. This is one part that no matter what anybody says will always be canon to me. They didn't say that in the official, they said it in the fan translation, but it's canon. He has a suction port. Not that suction port, that suction port. The old one is kind of non-existent, he's not a person anymore. Depends, does he talk out of that kind of mouth area now as a curse too? I assume that mouth still works, so now he has 2 suction ports. Good job, Naoya, way to evolve and progress to suck even harder. In fact, you suck so hard you can travel at Mach 3, congratulations. I didn't think somebody could suck so much. It's funny though, we can go even further with this. Naoya sucks so much that he started to make the writing bad. Seriously, Maki in this chapter started talking about how Naoya was faster than sound when he was a cursed womb. Now that he is graduated and butterflied out of his cocoon into a vengeful cursed spirit, you would assume that would come with an upgrade in speed, correct? Probably be faster? Well, then why does Maki say, if he's gonna come at us at the speed of sound, we should prepare a counterattack? Is anybody missing how that's kind of messed up? He was faster than sound before, so if he's gonna come at us at the speed of sound now, the speed of sound is slower than faster than the speed of sound, ladies and gentlemen. The writing was not even that good in this chapter. Seriously, it doesn't end here. You know when we got that full display of how his curse technique had been increased? When Naoya decided to freeze a bunch of panels of air and then punch them to make them explode to, I'm not going to say make his escape because he wasn't escaping, he was just flying around to reach max speed. But, yeah, when he did that, that was entirely pointless and kind of stupid and dumb. Now, you could say it was just Gege Akutami just revealing to us, showing us, telling us, hey, his curse technique is stronger than it used to be. He's not just faster and stronger. The curse technique has evolved as well. That's fine. We could have done that at a later date or come up with a better reason to do it. Because like I said, that was dumb. Seriously, all Naoya did was freeze the air, punch it, make it explode so he could fly right by and go reach max speed. Why didn't he just fly straight up? He was standing there facing the 2 of them. They're over there, he's right here. We can already see through panels in the chapter of how the suction port works, where he has the suction port kind of on top, right in the back right there, and it shoots out his ass. Yeah, now he is literally just blowing air out his ass when he's flying around. Surprise, surprise. Either way, He was standing there, looking at them. He could have just flown straight up and gone and flown away and reached max speed. There was no reason to do this. It was pointless and therefore stupid. Also, not entirely surprised because, well, it's Naoya. And this is still not the end of it. Seriously, we got more shit that Naoya did to cover. It's funny how we get one good chapter for Naoya. Naoya finally gets the spotlight after losing both of the fights that he was in and then getting killed by somebody who isn't even a sorcerer. He finally gets the spotlight, he finally gets his little W, and he's just screwing things up left and right. The writing's getting messed up, he's doing weird pointless stuff, and he quite possibly screwed up the scaling for basically the entire series. Because if you go back all the way to not the very beginning of the series, but very early on in it, you get to the Kyoto Sister School event, in which Maki caught a bullet barehanded from maybe not point blank, but very close range. And she was not expecting this bullet to be fired. She thought Mai had fired every bullet she had. Granted, Mai had fired every bullet she had, she just made another one. Maki didn't know she could do that. Now, judging by the size of Mai's revolver, I can only assume that the bullet she fired was traveling somewhere in between Mach 1 and Mach 2. That's just kind of where revolvers typically land, especially one of that caliber. I don't know the exact caliber, is just a decent sized revolver, so probably not something itty bitty. Either way, with that being said, we went from Mach 1 to 2 and jumped to Mach 3 in this chapter. Well, there's some more differences. Maki was fully aware of what was going to be coming at her this chapter. Back in the Kyoto Sister School event, completely caught off guard and still managed to react in time. Now, you could say we're just being nitpicky here and just entirely wrong. It is very possible and very probable that it wasn't just the velocity of Naoya that hit Maki so hard this chapter. It was also the mass and the force and everything else. So Naoya traveling at Mach 3 is probably hitting way harder than that bullet was traveling at Mach 1 to Mach 2. There is many differences. But even despite the amount of damage that Maki took, it was Maki's kind of lack of a reaction that kind of messes with the scaling here. Maki should be 3, 4, 5, 10 times stronger than she was back in the Kyoto Sister School event. She should also be much faster and much quicker to register things. Basically, you take every single one of Maki's stats in the Kyoto Sister School event and amplify them multiple times over to get current Maki. At least that would make sense. But then we have this reaction of her to Naoya flying at Mach 3, and it's, oh shit, and then we're on the ground. You think you would have a little bit more of a reaction than that, a little bit more time to get ready, do something, if you could react and catch a bullet almost point blank when you were severely weaker. So maybe we didn't screw up the scaling entirely, but it got a little bit wonky there for a second. And I should also admit that Gege Akutami probably doesn't remember every single feat and every single bit of scaling in Jujutsu Kaisen when he writes further chapters. That's not what an author's gonna do. That's what power scalers do. I am not one of them, and a lot of them take it way too seriously. So, with all of this being said, it's time to bring in a little bit of copium. A nice big heaping dose of copium. I had the comment given to me that, this is quite possibly a ruse set up by Maki and also Noritoshi Kamo. All the blood and everything on Maki's face that makes it this dire look like, oh my god, Maki's down, what are we gonna do? Well, Kamo is a blood manipulation user. So you splash a little fake blood, or splash a little bit of Kamo's blood on Maki, making it look like she's more damaged than she actually is, and maybe we get the chance to turn the fight around and catch Naoya off guard. I don't know, maybe it's just copium, but either way, with or without the copium, I honestly don't see Maki dying here. So yeah, while Naoya is getting the W right now, you can win the battle, but the Church of Maki Zenin will win the war. Screw you, Naoya. I hate you and you're terrible. I love you guys. You're awesome. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.